All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Tonight's my first stream in a long time. I am doing this thing where I'm going to start streaming every night. Trying to wrap up this album. It's been a process. You know. Hey, look, Jer Schweg's on. Who's man? What? How is Jer Schweg still around? Good to see you, bro. So in any case, I've been wrapping up this album. If you're following me on Instagram, then yeah, I know, right? I've been kind of busy with like work and stuff like that. I'm talking to J.R. Schweg. Yeah, no, I've just been busy in the studio. I got 16 tracks that I'm getting ready to release, and I'm cleaning up stuff. So that's what I'm doing like tonight. I'm gonna be streaming up until I release the album. Just working on cleaning up things right now. So yeah. Tonight I'm gonna be working on a song. It's called Jabberwocky Jones. It's like I think like the 6th or 7th song. Anyways, I'm cleaning up like the drums and I'm trying to clean up everything. Yeah, but if you're joining me on Instagram or if you're joining me on Twitch, I've been more active on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, it's good to see you. If you're on Twitch, it's great to have you here. Yeah, but I'm just gonna get started. You can watch me on either platform. It's Ionmatika on both. I will talk to you shortly, though. If you want to talk to me, just talk to me in the Twitch chat or on the Instagram stuff. I love Elektron. I don't know what else to say. Welcome LSD. Done quick. Wow, nice name. Hey, it's better than watching somebody play CDJs. That's all I gotta say. So like right now, I'm just setting up. Yeah, I've grown a lot since I got my A4. Right now I'm just setting up the drums. I can play the whole song for you if you guys want to hear it. But I'm just balancing the drums and I'm balancing the bass. And it's a process. Dude, A4s are nice cars. Above the A4 is a Pioneer. What is it? RMX 1000. This is the rhythm. This is the what is it? Digitakt. I got the heat up here. Wait, let me show you a better view. Oops. Wrong video. Like I said, it's been a while since I streamed. But here's a better view. Like you can see, here's a Digitakt. Here's the rhythm. Here's the Octatrack. Here's the heat. Here the RMX 1000, and then I have the A4. I like the A4. It's a nice car. I like the Audi, what is it, the R8. Thanks for joining me, guys. Like, I didn't think anybody was going to show up tonight. But, yeah, it's good to see that people are still around. Like I said before, right now I'm just like balancing everything, so it's just me balancing the bass and stuff. Dude, school is way expensive. Actually, they raised the price since after I went, so I don't really, I think I got in at the right time. Go to a fast music school. Honestly, half of it's not even gonna stick. Some of my later songs are actually retrowave, synthwave. I can play you some of my other songs. I'm actually trying to figure out like what I'm gonna do with this song because there's a lot to do with it, and I just started working on it. Basically, right now I just cleaned up the bass a little. It was a little subby, little too much. The funny thing is I'm gonna have to go right back through it anyways, with like a tool. But like right now, I just want to get it to a point where like, oh, it doesn't sound harsh on my ears or whatever. Dude, I love Gunship. Gunship's awesome. I can play some of my earlier stuff. Like I said, I'm working on trying to release 16 songs right now. So like that's sort of what I'm doing. I outlined 16. I'm on like number 5 or 6. And before, I actually produced a whole entire album, like 10 songs, and I didn't like any of them. I got to a point I was just like, I don't like any of these songs. And I was like, well, what is going to make me like these songs? And I was like, oh. I think if I have all Elektron gear, I feel like it would make me feel more like accomplished or whatever. It just make me feel more happy in the end, you know? So that's sort of like what I've been doing, is just replacing all my other gear just with like Elektron stuff. I just like the versatility of it and like just the ability to change things. And yeah, 16 songs is a ton. I haven't actually recorded any of them. They're all on my machines right now. But I'll probably play them in a little bit. As soon as I get sick of this song, and then I start moving on to the next song, because that's just the way I am. I like playing the old songs so I can kind of see like where I've been. Eventually, all these 16 songs will become a mix, and then once I'm done with all 16, then I'm gonna go on to the next ones. Actually, I think Twitch did a really good job. I think they like updated something. I'm not really sure what they did. I was checking out the stream last night, and I was like, wow. I was like, not really having any issues. The only thing I have issues with is, what do you call it? Sometimes my computer freezes. Yeah, I clicked the little button that said no delay. So there shouldn't be as much of a delay. I think it's only video stream delay. You can turn off the 30-second delay. But here, yeah, let me wrap up what I'm doing here, and then we'll go on to the other songs. All I'm trying to do right now is create some variation, and then once I finish up some of this variation, then I can go on to the next track. But for the most part, it sounded pretty good as far as like levels. I don't know, I might not fix much on the levels, but now I'm doing like composition and stuff. So like I've laid out the whole song. Not that you can kind of see like what's going on. You can kind of see what's going on, but you don't really know. There's like these buttons that have like song things, and I have everything laid out as far as like tracks in order and like stuff like that, and different banks in different order. And that's what I'm changing right now, is like I'm updating and creating variation. But yeah, I like the updates with Twitch. I don't really know much about it. Maybe I'll actually get subscriber now. I don't know. I don't think a lot of people even look at music that much. I'd like that to change. I was checking out music last night. It's kind of really terrible. Like I'm looking at like all these people, and like Monster Cat's still doing their thing, and then like there's some other people who are still doing like Ableton stuff. But for the most part, it's just like CDJ people, and I'm like, that's so boring. How do you people sit there and watch CDJs? Like people just hype this, hype that, hype woo, yeah, jump on the table, you know, like Why would you want to be around people like that? I don't know. Whatever. I like techno. I like synthwave. I like real music that makes your heart bleed. So, you know. Sit back and enjoy. Later. Still working on the bass. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I'm fixing things. It's a process. I will say this a billion times. It's a process. The weird part is like when the song's in your head and you're like trying to figure it out and you're just like, oh yeah, hey, I kind of like it like this. But then you're like, oh, how do I make it sound like that? And that transition is like the hardest thing to learn. But I'm getting better at it. Honestly, I don't think music production's all that interesting. I think performance is really interesting. But, you know, that's just me. Um one of these days I'm going to have a few shows sooner than later. I was actually told I didn't have enough social media people in order to start um playing out. And I was like, yeah, right. Everybody I know on my social media are people I know, you know? So, hey, if you're watching right now and you want to do me a favor, like my Instagram or my Facebook. It might not seem like a big thing to you, but like to me, it's a huge thing. Um, it is true. Like in order to perform, I need likes. It's really annoying. You know, it's very staggering as far as an artist. It's like, oh, cool. You know, like I have to be on social media, you know, and I have to have some sort of, presence of some sort. But that would totally be doing me a solid. Uh, SoundCloud, anywhere, Instagram, Facebook, they're all slash Ionmatika. You know, I'm easy to find. But yeah, you'd be doing me a huge favor. I appreciate it. Every little person counts, you know. So, but I'm gonna get back to finishing this up. I figure once the songs are done and I get to play out, I figure more people will come to like my stuff, and you know, we'll see what happens from there. All right, let's see if that fits where it is. I don't know. I'm just trying to play around with figuring out new patterns and stuff. We'll see what happens. Hey, what's up? If you're joining me, I actually don't look at how many people are actually watching. I just watch the chat. If you want to chat, you're welcome to. I will respond to anything. Yeah. No, I'm just streaming all night tonight. I haven't streamed in actually like 2 years, and it's kind of funny, 'cause I was actually I think one of the original Twitch people, but then like I just sort of dropped off. I don't know. I haven't streamed in a long time. So I am tonight, and I will be streaming until I'm done with my album. Just trying to grow in, just trying to get more people to see what I'm trying to do, like, I like what I'm doing. Hopefully you like what I'm doing, you know? I don't know. It's just, the thing is like, it's rough being a musician sometimes, you gotta go out there and, meet with people and stuff like that. And, I think most musicians want other people to listen to their music. And, I'm at that stage where it's like I got 16 songs I'm trying to finish up. And I would love for people to see like what I'm trying to do here, because, there's a lot of work involved. I think I've been working on this for more than 2 years, and ever since I left Twitch, like I created an album and then sort of wasn't into the album. And now I'm at the point where, oh, I want to do all drum machines, like that's sort of my thing now. But I'm happy doing what I'm doing, you know, trying to grow my Facebook and my Instagram, so I can get some gigs going here. It's just a process, and everybody's at a different stage. It's kind of funny. Like I feel like I'm in the early parts of my career right now, and hopefully a year, 2 years, I don't know, 5 years down the road, like we can look back on this video and just laugh. Like, okay, so like maybe like 5 people saw this video. I mean, I'm not really offended. I would do this for free. I do it for free now. It's just um, I just love doing what I'm doing. I don't really do any of this for anybody else. Like, but I wanted to open my doors to other people and just show people like what I'm doing. Hopefully you guys appreciate it. Yeah. I think right now in the song, what I'm doing, I was playing around with the bass, trying to figure out the bass. I haven't worked on the drums at all. I did fix all the levels. I'm kind of working on the ARP now. So like I'm feeling some sort of like something on the ARP that just needs to change. So I have to update all those. Just make it a little more groovy, There's a process, it's like sketch out tracks, and then after you sketch out tracks, just kind of refine them. I'm at the stage where I'm kind of refining them. I haven't really added any sort of like anything as far as like a breakdown or anything like that. Like I just it's kind of flat right now. Like and this is the way I make tracks. As I make sort of like a rough idea of like what I want to make or what I want it to sound like. And then like from there, like I just, I try to make something that goes up or down, depending on where I'm at in the song, put things more stuff in or take some things out, you know? Like that's like the basics of like music production, you know? But then when I get to the drums, it's going to be even more interesting because you know, I need to make builds. But yeah, it's even more complicated on a drum machine because I'm using most of my ears. I don't have this visual thing that I have in a DAW. Like, I'm not using Ableton, so I have no way of looking at what I'm doing as far as like MIDI. I'm just literally just using my ear, and that's how I'm discerning on like, whoa, hey, this is what I need to change. Oh, hey, this is what needs to be here. You know, like I can hear the song in my head, but it's, you know, getting from my head to the drum machines that's always the complicated issue. So if you're joining us right now, thanks for joining. You know, thanks for spending time with me. I think I'll be probably up all night. You know, it's just going to be one of those episodes. My schedule is pretty much up all night anyways right now. Thus the perks of just working on music. And I'd like to continue to work on music, you know? And, you know, like anything like as far as like likes on like Facebook or Instagram, I know it sounds like I'm just, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, but it is a big thing, you know? It's like the more likes you have on Facebook and Instagram and it's pathetic, you know? It's like I can play a good show, but you know, and people buy likes. I don't know if you guys have ever actually seen that. It's kind of funny when I go to like some musicians' websites or like even like their Instagram or Facebook, and I see that they have like 40,000 people following them, but then there's like 20 likes on per image, and you're like, those people are totally scamming the system. And it's not fair. Not for the people who actually really truly care about their fans. And you know what? I really do care about my fans. But that's enough of my griping. I don't mean to be like, you know, like this. But, you know, I want you to know that like I appreciate like anybody who has the time to just sit there and watch what I'm doing. It's not always fun. Really isn't. You know? So thanks for tuning in. I'm just going to wrap up this ARP. And then I think I'm going to go to the drums from there. Yeah. So, yeah. Tune in. That was hilarious. It started playing another song. Still fixing some ARP things. I think I'm gonna put my mic over here. It's just a little more accessible. If it'll reach. My week's been interesting. At least as much of a week can be interesting without having real responsibility other than music. But yeah, I don't know. I had a good week. I do graphic design also on the side. Just one of those things, It's like I am an artist for the most part. I have painted probably 100 paintings. and I don't know. I just I really like artistic stuff. I like going to like history museums and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just interesting. You know, I live in LA, and it's really easy to sort of just check out some what do you call it? History museums and stuff like that. It's really fun. The LACMA's here, you know. I really dig the LACMA. I've been to LACMA a few times. But I don't know. LACMA's okay. I thought it was bigger. When I got there, I thought it was bigger than it is, but I guess it's really not that big. Like I used to live in Chicago, and Chicago museums are huge. But LACMA is like, I guess it's not small. I mean, I guess it's 2 levels, and then there's like another side part. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not as small as I thought it was. It's just not as big as I thought it would be. Maybe it's just really well condensed, kind of like everything in LA. I don't know. It's strange to me that people can just like live on top of each other in LA. And yet, if you go to New York, it's like even more condensed. Not that I've ever been to New York, but I've been to Chicago. I lived in Chicago for 3 years. Great experience. Really loved it. And come on, paste already, bud. So like right now I'm just like pasting tracks. I don't know if you can see this. Right now I'm just pasting tracks and like trying to get. So I have these 4 tracks. Basically, I'm only cycling between like 8 tracks. 8 track. Ha ha ha. But I have to copy all the patterns. I can copy like the whole thing. I just, for some odd reason, the patterns have to be individually copied. I think there's a faster way. I don't know that faster way. Actually, I think I copied everything. Yeah, I guess I copied everything. I astonished myself. But what I really wanted to do was this. I wanted some sort of breakdown. I have to play this in the song again, because there was a part where I was just like, wow, I need some sort of breakdown, but it needs to be like, the arps need to be like in there, and then like sort of like bringing the song down, like. I don't know, even lower. Probably higher. I love arps. This is not my most interesting song. That's why it's kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, like I love this song, but it's certainly not my most interesting song. It's funny, like my first few. I think this is number 5, or maybe it's number 6. No, it's number 5. This is number 5. It's not a terrible song. It's just very. It's a challenge to sort of see where it's going. Like I have an idea. It's weird. Like 3 a.m. in the morning, it's gonna hit me, and I'm just gonna be like, all right, cool. This is how the song sounds, and it's gonna be like awesome, and everybody's gonna be dancing, and you're just, like people are just gonna be like, woo, and. But right now it's kind of like, kind of like it, kind of don't, I go through those phases with songs, it's just like one of those things which like sometimes I'm really into a song and sometimes I'm just like, It kind of sounds like that. Very off key. Oh my gosh. Insert hip hop beat right there. Boom. Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed that I don't have my RMX 1000 working right now, because I have no way of doing risers, white noise, builds, breakdowns. But I should have everything by Monday next week. So I should have everything set up. It's a challenge. But actually everything really, I feel like the RMX 1000 would just be a distraction for me right now. Because it's like one of those new toys that I just want to play with, but like I don't actually completely understand everything about it. But it has some like really cool features. And it has the capability to sort of take my music to like the next level. And I haven't really built any like drum builds or any sort of. See, that's the thing. It's like I've done these 16 songs. I've really been focusing on like composition and stuff like that. So like some of these songs are just kind of like, oh, it's the same thing over and 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 over again. And it's like, yeah, I know. I gotta break up those. I have to break up the monotony, monoton, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Too much repetitive. Where's this at? Let's see, what's the part that I'm trying to change? Pancakes. I just wanted to say that right now, pancakes. With maple syrup. Pancakes and maple syrup. Once again, not making sense right now. Like, the triggers are there. So why is it muted? What's it doing? I don't understand. Oh, I know why. It's finding that really, really sweet spot. I have no idea what I just did there. That's what I want to do, something like that. Something like that. Boom, chicka, boom. I want to have like a build. Yeah, not going so well. I'm gonna get it to work. Watch. I think I got it. I like it for now. Let's go through the whole song again. That's better. I'm happy with this one. Hopefully this works. I kind of dig it. I'll probably change it, but I dig it for now. I think the reverb on it is just too much. Probably bring it in a little more. I like that more. That sounds more level. mind you, everything past that point is kind of like I haven't looked at or changed. But I think I need to change up the ARP a little bit more. I just haven't gotten to it. You want to hear my pad skills? I'm just playing with stuff now. I think you reach a point in your music production where you're just like, oh, I have to entertain myself. Forget entertaining you guys. I got to entertain myself, you know? Yeah, music production is something that takes a lot of patience. And a lot of listening to the same thing over and over and over and over again. That's why I don't suggest it for everybody. I don't think it is for everybody. I think trying to create good, decent tracks really fast is something that you learn over time. It's not something that you can just do right away, you know? It's like it takes years and years, you know? Like I know people who are like 10 years in and they can produce a track like in 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, and I could do that with Fruity Loops and stuff like that. Drum machines are a little more complicated. I'm sure there's drum machine people out there who can make it in 10 minutes. I'd love to be one of those people. That's what I'm working towards. But I've only been working on this for like 2 years. And I've only had this set up for like since January. So that sort of tells you like what's my music background. My music background is, you know, I went to music school and then after music school, sort of graduated, learned some things, didn't really learn everything. I find that like music school kind of glosses over everything that's important. I wish I'd asked a lot more questions while I was going to school, but the thing is like I never really would have understood the questions that I was asking when I was going to school. Because it's just a lot to learn when you're going to music school. Like you have no idea like, oh, hey, what's a minor fifth, you know? Like, or what's a, you know, what's a triad, or like what's a, you know, and it's just like, what's a drum fill? Like I didn't know any of that stuff. I literally walked into the process not knowing anything. And this has only been like 3 years. So it's just like, I feel like I've learned a ton within those 3 years, but it's only been 3 years, you know? Like, they say that, like, it takes 10,000 hours to be a pro at something, and I don't think I've even, I don't even think I'm, like, 2,000 hours in, you know? Like, I think it's, I'm still working towards my 10,000 hours. I don't know when I'll get there. I would think I work on music every day, 4 to 6 hours a day. I know I should work on it more. I should be like on there 12 hours, you know, like I should wrap up a track or whatever every day, you know, but like, I don't know. For me, the creative process is like something that doesn't come overnight, you know, it's not like something that's just like, oh, here, I'm done, you know, hey. For me, it's been like, okay, I'll focus on this track. and then I'll finish up this track, go on to the next track. But then I have 16 other tracks. You know what I mean? Like I'm working on multiple tracks all at the same time. And I actually enjoy it that way only because I've thought about it more. You know, I feel like when you're first starting, you're still sort of like trying to figure out like, oh, hey, what am I trying to do with my music production? What am I trying to become? 'Cause you don't really know. You know, like you have an idea, you have really good taste in music, and you're like, oh yeah, you know, I really like this band. Even if you're a drummer or something like that, or if you're like a guitarist or into some sort of like band stuff, you know, it's just like, um, you don't really know where to go because you don't know your own sound, and you don't really know how to get there because you're still trying to figure out things. And I feel like musicians nowadays, at least when they're first starting, they're always at this peak sort of, they're always at their most, what's it called? They're always at their most striving points. Like they're always learning something new, you know? So but they're they're always trying to grow larger and bigger and stuff like that. You know, like even the people who are like famous and stuff like that, like they're always learning. They're still learning stuff. Those that actually produce their own stuff, you know? Like I can't even tell you how many stories there are that people don't even produce their own stuff. And it's sad, you know? But hey, whatever. I mean, if that's the way they want to look at things. You know, like and that's really it's been kind of crazy lately. People kind of approaching electronic music just as like a business, you know? And it is a business, but it's also something that's like artistic. And I feel like we've sort of lost our artistic flow, you know? Like people aren't really, not me personally. I got my artistic flow. But I meant like the community in general. Like I felt like I was DJing for a while. I played some gigs, some places, and I felt like it wasn't fulfilling. If that makes any sense. If you know what I'm talking about. It just really is not all that fulfilling. I mean, CDJs and like searching for music. Like this funny thing is like I understand why people don't produce their own stuff, or they'll have they'll they'll have other music producers like hand off things to other music producers. Like some people are just geniuses. Like Slushy's a genius. Um, but like some people who are just like, I get it. I totally understand. Like, 'cause they're just frustrated in the studio and they're just like, you know, why don't I just have somebody else do this? But for me, like, ever since I started this journey, I've just been like, all right, I want to produce the best kind of music that I can. And, you know, it has not been easy. And I know that there's so much more that I need to learn. And I'm learning. But here's the thing. I've limited sort of like my rig, you know, like I only have so many tools to work with. And I think that is when I started to figure out like, hey, this is my sound. This is where I'm going. These are the tools that I'm using, you know, these are the things that I'm going to use to get to where I want to be. And I feel like finding that was a long process. I had the Analogfour and the RYTM for like a really long time. And I had fooled around with it, try to figure out like, oh, hey, how's this work? How's this work? Blah, 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 blah. Actually, I will say this right now. Creating drums is not something that you want to do in your first year of like any music production. It's the hardest thing to learn. I think a lot of the drums have actually been taught to me from other people. And I don't even think my drums are fully there yet. like I can do patterns and copy patterns and stuff like that, and use different patterns, but like it's sound design. Sound design is always going to be one of those things that, like, okay, cool, what do? Do I put a compressor at the end, And the way I have my setup is a little different, it's just like I want compression at the end of my chain. Like I approach things like, okay, my Octatrack is sort of like my master chain. If you guys are into DAWs and stuff like that, I sort of approach my Octatrack as my master track, my master track, and my synthesizer, my drum machine are kind of like one track, and then honestly, my rig's not even complete. That's kind of the worst part about it. Like right now, I'm missing a synthesizer. I have a synthesizer. It's not on camera. But I'm missing an important part of my whole rig, and that is my Digitakt. Oh no, I have the Digitakt. I'm talking about the Digitone. I still need to order the Digitone. And then I think my rig will be complete, because I've sort of got this set up where it's kind of like a DJ, but it's also its own thing. Where it's like, oh, I have things separated on one side. I have the left side. Here, let me see what view it's on. So basically what I have it is, I have on the left side, I have these two synthesizers. And then on the right side, I have my Digitakt. And I am also playing tracks from the Octatrack. And then I want to get the Digitone and feed the Digitone through the Digitakt, and then the Digitakt into the Octatrack. And then right now I'm just using the Analogheat. Dude, I don't know if you guys have seen the Analogheat, but it is awesome. At first I was a little confused about like what it was, trying to figure out like the distortion. It's a distortion unit. I don't know if you guys know this. Look it up. It's like one of the greatest units I have. But it's more than just a distortion unit. There's like so many things that you can do with it. And I didn't even know about this, but like you can send MIDI to it. You can do a bunch of other stuff with it. Honestly, just watch a video on it. It's awesome. There's just so much to it. And then from my Octatrack, it goes into my Heat, and then my RMX 1000 is not hooked up yet, but that is sort of like it's another distortion unit. It's not really a distortion unit. It's just an effects. It's my effects station. I still wanted to keep that that DJ flow, and like kind of get that like white noise. And like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a Pioneer mixer, but like a Pioneer mixer has like all these really, really cool like build-ups and like breakdowns and like cool effects, like break, spin, echo. And I really wanted to to keep that DJ sort of feel, but like also use my electrons, I think it's kind of funny. I really don't know what I'm going to do on tour. Because what am I supposed to do? Like put a box over CDJs? Like, this is going to be hilarious. I'm going to have to find a place that like just lets me play on my own. I don't know. I really haven't thought about it. I mean, I have, but I haven't. Everything's sort of strapped in, so it's actually very convenient. But yeah, I mean, hooking things up, I don't know. I mean, so like I said before, like I know CDJs. I've worked with CDJs. I've worked with vinyl. I've done a bunch of DJing. Didn't really find it fulfilling. Thought it was kind of a waste of time. Wasn't really sticking. And then I found drum machines, and I just fell in love with them. Now, Elektron has really built like the greatest sort of drum machines. Not to say that there aren't other ones out there. Like, if you look at the Arai set, those look pretty dope. You know, like I would love to get my hands on some of those. I really like the Korg ones, but they're small. They're just toys, though. See, that's the thing is like there's a huge difference between in music production. There's a huge difference between a toy and a real piece of machinery. And I feel like the Electrons have really pulled it off where like it's sort of a toy, but it's still a synthesizer and it's a box. You know, like there's a lot of like DSI instruments. Um I like some of those, you know, but those are even more pricier. And like I had to find like a ballpark of like, okay, how do I spend like around $1,000, but like not like a ton of money. You know what I mean? And the funny part is like even if you look at like CDJs, like those CDJ setups are like $5,000. I don't even think my setup is $5,000. I know it's not. So yeah, I mean it's been one of those things. It's just been a huge learning curve, learning drums and how everything like fits together. I have a long ways to go. I hope you guys can join me on this journey. I've been talking for a while. I think I'm gonna wrap up soon. Like, I think 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours is good enough. I mean, this is my first night. I'll probably be streaming again on Friday. But I wanted to start doing this because I felt like I was looking at Twitch, really wasn't seeing any of sort of the production styles that I'm looking at on like Electronauts and like, through other producers, you know. And it's funny, I just watched something on Conan and was it last night or the night before or I don't know. It's funny. It's like these electrons are finally starting to like bubble up, and people are starting to take notice of like, whoa, this is actually a real way of making production, you know. But the funny part is like they've been around for a really long time. Like I think the Octatrack's been around. What was it released 2013 or something? 14? I don't know. I'm not like one of those people that remembers those weird facts. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really love them. I think overall I've had a lot of fun with them. If you want to get the Digitakt is actually a really good introduction to all these. I really, really want to get a Digitone. The Octatrack is probably the most necessary one. Just have to say it, you know, like the Octatrack is seriously like is the workhorse of the whole entire thing. I think if I only had to pick two, I would pick the Octatrack and the Rhythm, the drum machine, because I think like in techno and like dance music, the two most important things are drums and I think most of the synthesizer stuff I could handle with the Octatrack. But look, hey, I got this huge rig. This is how I want to play. Hopefully soon we get this RMX running. That'd be really cool. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see where we're at on time and go from there. My neighbors can get really loud and I don't know. We'll see if I wake them up. Hopefully, I mean, no, it is only a Wednesday. But if you want to join me on Friday, I'm going to be here on Friday. I don't think I'm wrapping up right away. I think I'm going to go until midnight. It really depends on like, what I'm feeling, with what I'm doing. Yeah. So let me play the track again. Just sort of get like, I like to take these breaks and just sort of like let my ear rest a little to like, you know, haven't really heard it. I've been talking this whole time and, you know, like it's good to always take those like 30-minute breaks and just kind of like chill out and just like not listen to the music. and then get back right into it, and then just like make your big changes right when you first listen to it, you know? Because it's funny, like sometimes I'll make level adjustments, but then like I'll take a break and I'll come back and I'll be like, those level adjustments are terrible. And I'll be like, oh, I gotta fix it. Oh man, because you know, like I think the biggest thing about music production, and this is like the number one thing that I've learned, is like if you hear something and you hate it, change it. Like that's my best advice. Is like you hear something, you hate it, change it. That's gonna be like my motto. That's something I should just say every day. If you see something, you hate it, or you hear something, you hate it, change it. You know, like that's just the way it is. See, like I think when you like first start doing music production, you do a lot of like harsh, high tones, and you got to pay attention to like, oh, dude, is it too like crispy? Is it too like harsh on your ears on the top end? You know, and you know that's really the thing that's really the hardest. Just making sure that like your levels are correct. You know, it's funny, like you can hear things in the higher pitch range, um, on like barely, barely any volume. You know, so it's like why not just turn it all the way down, or like most of the way down, depending on what kind of you know feeling you want to go for, or what kind of um, you know tone you want to go for. But I don't know. That's not that I don't know. I do know. That's just my that's what I've learned. Just turn down things. And then, you know, when they don't hurt your ear and you turn them down and they don't hurt your ear, then that's when you know that they're at the right level. And I feel like the more you listen to music, the more you listen to your own music, you start to understand when things are starting to hurt your ear, and you're more sensitive to like, oh, hey, this is hurting my ear. This is certainly something. But and the funny part is like sometimes I'm just like, nah, I don't care if it's hurting their ear, you know. Depending on like what it is, you know, like there's some what do you call it? Like there's claps and there's some open hats and certain hats that I'm just like, nah, nah. And then I'll go back and I'll listen to it and I'll be like, ah. I'm like the thing is it's so loud that it's like distracting to the rest of the song. And then you're just like, oh, I gotta turn it down anyways. So, what are you gonna do? You know? It's just one of those things. I don't know. I really like my setup. I really, really do. It's taken me a while to sort of figure out things, but it's better than playing CDJs. It's better than playing vinyl. Makes me more fulfilled. It makes me feel like I'm actually like doing something. And the funny part is like I'm working on all this stuff and I'm like trying to get it to a point where it's like I can repeat it multiple times, you know? And the thing is like every show is going to be different. Every track, you know, like I'll lay down a track and I'll just be like, "Oh, hey, you know, it's done." You know? But then I'll be like, "Nah." And it'll evolve from there, you know? Like it's never going to be done. Because I'm going to be touring and I'm going to be changing it a little, you know? So it's just like, you know. Anyways, shout out. I've been talking long enough. He's been like 20 minutes. I don't know. It's, you know, I just, like I said before, I like to take a break and just chill for a minute, you know? Thanks for hanging out with me. I know that music production is not always the most interesting thing ever. I love it. Some people really, really love it. Some people are just like, nah. I mean, seriously, like for me, like I don't think I could watch it because I get antsy and I'll be like watching somebody else produce. Like I've watched Dead Mouse a few times producing stuff, and I've been like, Yeah, no, I just want to go produce my own stuff. uh, yeah, no, I gotta stop talking though. I need to get back to work. But yeah, shout out to anybody who's watching. Um, and if you want, I really, really, I'm to borderline begging. Like, I really need some followers on Facebook, and I really need some followers on Instagram, and SoundCloud. So I'm just putting myself out there. If you guys feel the need to, like, that's all I really need. Like, if you want to show support and stuff like that, like, that is the best way for me. Because I want to play shows, and right now I'm at this point where it's like I want to play shows. I'm almost ready to start playing shows, but I have to build up my fan base. Being a musician is such a challenging thing nowadays. It's just like unless you're like really hot looking and like gorgeous, I'm not. Like I'm just mediocre. So it's like, like I don't have abs. I'm not like ripped or anything, but I'm sure that helps, or whatever. The thing is, I'm talented. I'm getting off track here a little, but yeah. I mean, if you guys want to like my Instagram or my Facebook, like that would be much appreciated. Even my SoundCloud. The links are below. I think if you're on YouTube or if you're on Instagram or Twitch, the links are below, and just have a look at them, and yeah, it would be helping me tons, and you think like, oh, one little like is not going to help at all, and you'd be surprised. Like even a YouTube like that's awesome. Like a subscription, like I'd really appreciate it. It's just and you can unfollow me later. Like I'm sure you will. Who knows? And that's the thing is like I'm not always going to be interesting, but sometimes, it's just like sometimes I'm going to be really interesting, and I really want to share my journey with a bunch of people. I'm sort of just like getting started, and yeah, but that's my spiel. I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to chill. If you want to listen to some of the music, just sit back and relax and chill with the music. Peace. I'm digging it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Name that song. We're approaching 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm thinking about wrapping it up. It's been my first stream. It's pretty good for my first stream in a long time. Yeah, I'll probably work on most of this later off stream. It's just, it's not always easy to stream and do music production. Though I do find it very refreshing. But in any case, I think I'm going to end here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me jabber on about stuff, music production and all this other stuff. Monday, we will be getting the RMX 1000 working. And yeah, everything went pretty smooth. The video was pretty good tonight. No computer issues, which is, just a blessing. If you have any questions or if you want to, DM me, just DM me or whatever, like I'm free, I'm available. Mostly music production, or like anything about electrons. Feel free to message me. I don't really have any issues with that. And I think if you want to check out my Instagram or my Facebook, again, it's facebook.com/Ionmatika. My SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/Ionmatika. And you can follow my Twitter. You can follow my Instagram. I'm more active on my Instagram than I am on anything. But that will change soon. I'm going to be more active on all my social media. Only because I want to start booking gigs here soon. What was this? Song 5 of 16 right now. So I have a ways to go. It's just, it's going to be an all-nighter thing. I might post videos here and there. When I'm done with the song, I'll probably post it on YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still trying to figure out my social media. It's a learning process. Like I said, I'm very early in my career with music. I've only been working on it for 3 years, and I really haven't had time to work on social media. But now is the time, Seize the day. Carpe diem. But, yeah, things are going to get smoother and smoother every time. This is episode 1, and then I figure, 500 down the line, it should be better. I will be announcing shows and stuff like that in the future. I have my own website also, if you want to check it out. It's ionmatika.com. And I'm just going to play the song, and on the way out, you guys can just see your way out the door, Thanks for joining me tonight, though. I really appreciate it. Like I said, currently I don't have a lot of fans, but I would love to have thousands of fans, why not? I'm a realist, that's the thing. It's I really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm not exactly creating pop music, but I'm certainly creating music that I love. Maybe it's your taste, maybe it's not your taste. If it's not your taste, later. If it is something that you actually want to hear in the future, I do a lot of synthwave stuff, and I do a lot of techno, I do a lot of house. Yeah, this year is going to be a very interesting year. So just tune in and just, continue to watch my streams. I'm not streaming tomorrow because I have an obligation every Thursday and Sunday. But I will be streaming every day other than those 2 days. Up until we finish 16 songs. That's my goal. Let's finish these 16 songs, get them done, get them, pushed out there, and then, we can go from there, It's 16 songs. Hopefully at that point, hopefully there's more people tuning in and, checking out the stream. And, I do a lot of this stuff for people who really care. find it few and far between people care nowadays. I do watch a lot of people's Instagrams. I do watch a lot of people's Facebooks. Um, I'm a fan of a lot of people too, you know, and I like to see like what they're doing, and hopefully this is just like one of those things where you're just like, cool, Ionmatika's on, you know, like let's check out, see what he's doing. It's gonna be a growing process. I'm just starting, um, and that's the thing. Is like what you have to remember is like everybody's on a different page. You know, my cat is like playing with things. But yeah, love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe I'm a little long-winded, but hey, you know what? I really appreciate any time that anybody gives me. Checking out my stuff, you know, whatever. All you haters, peace out. Love you guys. Later.